First of all, we don't train handyman because our philosophy is you either are one or you're not. So that's the first thing to ask yourself. I get phone calls from people who might know a couple of things about one or two things. It's not good enough. You've got to come in with the skills to be able to delight the customer. And a proper tool person can turn his hand and has experience in a wide variety of areas, and that's why you can't really train a handyman. You either are one or you're not. From there, what we need is people who are ready to really take control of their life. And people think they want their own business, but responsibility comes with it. You know, you want to be really ready to stand on your own 2 feet, be your own person, and run your own business in the way you choose, because we give you all the options, we give you all the opportunity, and where people take it from there really depends on their needs. So I've got franchisees that are building empires and they're already up to multiple employees. They're even getting office staff on board and they're growing big businesses. And I've got other guys, like one of my guys out west who's just recently had a new baby. He'd be lucky to be doing 30 hours this week, but he can. He just takes enough work that he needs, he makes his money, and he's home with the baby and his wife and looking after them, which is what he should be doing. And there's not too many opportunities and businesses you can do that with. One of the keys to this is you don't need premises, you don't need all kinds of stock, you're not paying for stock on the water or anything like that, and you don't need a big staff that you've got to pay out every week or anything like that. And you're still making proper business money, and you control whether you do 30 hours or 70 hours, entirely up to you. There's not many businesses you can do that with. And the reason you can choose is because there's always new business coming at you, so you can manage that. Because if you're by yourself, you've got to take the work you get and you've got to work it while it's there in case next week you got no work. You don't have that weakness with us, so therefore you get a lot more control of your life. And if you're ready for that, you're ready to choose your own hours, you're ready to self-motivate, then this is a great platform to put your business on top of. One of the things you want to be careful of when you're buying a franchise or any business is that a different person becomes your new boss. Because what most people are trying to do is escape that I don't know what the right word is, but we all know that it involves kissing and backsides. And you want to get out and be your own man, but you don't want the customer to become your new boss either. And the way to avoid that is to make sure you have enough work. If you can do that, and you can definitely do that with us, everyone else is, so why not you? Then you can actually be in control. You're not reactive, you're not panicking, it's just steady, there's always new work. And even if you make mistakes, we've got hundreds of customers. You can make a mistake with one customer, just learn from it and don't make the mistake again. The world doesn't end because you upset one customer by accident. So there's a lot of flexibility, very low risk. There's 3 financial pieces to getting on board. One of them is you're buying a franchise. So be careful of this. Here's some free business advice for everyone. When you look at any franchise, you want to ask a couple of key questions. One of them is, do I own the territory or am I renting, leasing it? Because if you look at some franchise agreements, they tell you, hey, we're going to do you a favour, you can just hand it back when you're finished with it. Well, they're not doing you a favour at all, because what you want to be doing with your gym's territory is you're going to buy it, and you're going to buy it as a vacant territory, right, which can be anywhere from 15 to sort of 60,000 depending on the division and a few other things, but you own it. So what we're going to do is we're going to build it up over 10 years and then we're going to sell it as a going concern. And if I'm buying this mature business, then I'm buying a business when you step out of it that's still got gym support, that I can get training in, I can be financed in, and in fact I sell the businesses for the franchisees at the other end, and you want to be earning multiples of the earnings. So if you're making $200,000 a year owning your gym's handyman business in 10 years time, that's worth it. At least the multiple a cafe gets, which is 2.5, so that's $500,000. So that $500,000 at that end sounds a hell of a lot better than hand the territory back. So that's why you buy the territory, is so you can sell it one day. The other reason you buy it is to get the license and everything else we'll talk about, but also you get the leads in that area first. But in this business, you tend to work in your zone. So if you're on the North Shore of Auckland, for example, you probably cover the North Shore. But you don't really want to travel further than that. And again, in this business, you can do that because, as we all know, crossing Auckland is very inefficient and not much fun and takes too long in traffic. So you want to be as efficient as possible and bring that work as close to as you can. Within reason, you've got to go where the money is. If you're on the North Shore, you don't have no problem going over to Massey to do a $40,000 deck, but you're not going over there for a small job. So you can manage this sort of stuff with our system. So that's the why you buy a territory. And we have finance options on that. We even have interest-free finance on that, and I can tell you about that when we talk. So the other 2 components, one is the fixed fees, which is a pillar of why Gyms is the #1 franchise group in the Southern Hemisphere by members. right? There's a reason more people choose a gym's franchise than any other system, and I believe that one of the big reasons is this fixed fee. So the way I like to think about that is if you work 30 hours this week and the franchise you're in is taking a percentage of your income, if you work 70 hours, as a franchisor, I'm going to charge you for working those extra hours. That's crazy, right? So what we do at gyms, if you work for 30 hours or you work for 70 hours, your fees are the same every week. Every month they're the same. They're just a capped amount, and that includes everything you need. It's your IT department, it's your email, it's your marketing support, it's my support, it's the use of the brand, and how much you work and how hard and how you do your lifestyle is up to you. An example I like about that is, if I'm charging you a percentage like nearly every franchise group out there, and I ring you on a Thursday, I'm like, come on man, get out there, work harder, hire more people, push. I'm carroting, I'm sticking you, right? When you're on fixed fees, if I call you on a Thursday and you're already out in your fishing boat, it's literally none of my business, right? So the difference is we're almost more like a supplier than a boss. I get this with existing franchisees. They ask me, oh, what should I do about this, this, and this? And I said, okay, well, let's help you make a decision. It's your business, right? People, want to be, they can design their own life and their own business around this. There is no fixed way. But the fixed fees ensure that you got my support 100% of the time, regardless. So the fixed fee offers a lot of flexibility for people, and again, reduces the risk and it improves the relationship that I have with them, because I'm not taking more money off them the harder they work. And then the final component is lead fees. So lead fees, we generate hundreds of leads in any given month, and you pay for the ones that you need that month. So you don't have to take a fixed amount. You can sometimes, and often, the guys and their teams are booked out, so they have their leads turned off. So if you think about it from a business point of view, you've got a marketing department. Normally what you do is you chuck 10,000, say, a month at a marketing department, and you get back what you get. And you pay 10 grand no matter what. You get some, you don't get some, you pay your 10 grand. What you're doing with gyms is you're taking it per lead, so you're only using it and you actually get something every single time. And you only take the amount you need, no more, no less. So how that really works beautifully in a business context is there's no point being busy half your time, right? You've got to fill those gaps in. How you make more money when it comes to the end of your P&L is more per hour, which is efficiency and offering a premium business that gyms does, and therefore being able to offer a premium price. But you're also billing more hours, because independent handymen spend a third of their time chasing work, a third of the time getting organised, and a third of the time being billable. Within a few months with us, we'll have you billing, if you work 50 hours, you'll bill 40, you'll be at 80%. So when you get to the end of the year, you're going to see a massive difference. I can categorically say that our franchisees make at least twice to 3 times as much as independent handymen from the research that I've seen, and my research is talking to them. So this is what the independent guys are telling me. So the lead fees I like to see as a standalone, because that is your marketing department that you turn up and turn down and pay for when you need it. So I don't see that as a cost, I see that as an asset of the business. So the only thing you're really paying us is the monthly fee. And when you take the GST off that and you claim that as tax, and I'll go through this when I meet you in person, you actually pay very little in real terms to be part of us each year. But what we're looking for from you is a 10-year relationship. This is what's important to us, so you understand, what are we really after here ourselves as a business. What we want is growth. What we want is many more vans of gym services running up and down your streets. So our business model is we take a very little amount of money from a lot of people. So you personally, when you look at any franchise system, you should be working on at least a 3-to-1 ratio. So if I put in $1, I should be getting $3 worth of value. And when we talk, I'll take you through that and show you how you get that with us. And I'd be happily take the Coke Pepsi challenge against any other franchise system. And as I always say to everyone, if you find me a better business to invest in than this, I'll invest with you. Because you can't, I've looked. Each franchisee comes in with a different vision, and I'll help them create that vision. Some guys want to create empires, and they're willing to do the work that that's going to take. There's no free ride in life, but you can certainly work the odds. Like we have 9 out of 10 gyms across the board, those thousands of people succeeding. So our success rate is incredibly high, and I'll categorically tell you the 10% who don't make it, it's their fault. It's proven by the other 9 people. So you come on board, you've got that covered. Now, how far can you take it? With my help, you can take it as far as you like. We've got a franchisee, for example, in South Auckland, who's been there, I think, where is he up to now? About 14, 15 months. He's got 3 full-time employees. He's got a permanent administrator, so and that's quite clever. See, that's really, it shows his intelligence, because he's saving his time, which is worth far more per hour than an administrator. So he has a full-time administrator, and he has a community of subcontractors, and he has a community of friendly tradies. So he has a friendly plumber, friendly electrician. Because he's getting this work from gyms constantly, he can make money in several different ways and diversify his income. And of course, the golden goose of them all is you're making money while other people are working. So he's already done that. He's 14 months into it. He's got a very good, what they would call SME, small to medium enterprise. How far as he goes is going to be interesting to watch. But again, if he ends up with 10 permanent employees, he's still paying the same monthly fees as a one-man band. And he's still got the brand and the use and the recognition. So he's absolutely loving it. And a bunch of other guys are real close to him, but he's leading at the moment in South Auckland. But he's getting a good run for his money from the Green Heights franchisee, who's getting a good running from his money from the guy who owns Campbell's Bay. So each year we have an award for the top handyman, and the way you win that is by having the biggest turnover. Because at the end of the day, we have to realise that we're all here to make money, right? We don't need to be, we're not all here to be best mates. It would be great if we are, but we operate as cousins. So when your cousin rings, you go and help them. And then the gym's mowing, the gym's cleaning, they're our second cousins that we see once a year at Christmas, but we give each other leads, we help each other, and it's a great community to be part of. And again, diminishing your risk, because work and opportunity is coming at you from so many different directions.